Hey everybody, it's Christian Buckley doing another MVP Buzz Chat, and I'm talking with Abdulrafiu. Hello,
Hi, Kristen.
welcome to the chat here. So, for folks that don't know you, who are you, where are you, and what do you do?
Okay, an AI engineer. I'm also a student, and I'm also I revolve around the startup world. Currently, I reside in Nigeria, Africa, and I work across various AI roles, building models, training AI systems to become smarter, and just general systems that revolve around the AI space.
It's an exciting space. There's a lot happening in that space.
Yeah.
I just got done with a 6 week onboarding and training with a very large client, and I'm always fascinated by the types of questions that they're asking, and it's not always the things that you think that they're going to ask you about. So
Yeah, that's true.
I know AI is relatively new. How is AI taking off in Africa right now?
Well, I would say a lot of youths, I'll call them the Gen Zs, are really interested in AI because I've mentored a group of people who their main focus was in AI, and up to now I'm still receiving invitation requests to mentor more people who are diving into the field of AI,
Hmm.
specifically because some of the problem domains in Africa are easily solvable within the AI space and using AI technologies. So it's easily tappable by these individuals. So I'll say a lot of this, a bit of rush in terms of how many people are interested in AI technologies.
I am fascinated to know. I don't think I've talked to somebody from Nigeria in a few years. I interviewed somebody a few years back where we were talking about so before the AI push. So this is 6 7 years ago. And there was, I think at the time, I can't remember whether Nigeria or it was like going back and forth with South Africa for the largest economy in Africa. But they said that new startups, tech companies, mostly app development, mobile development companies, were just taking off in Nigeria. Is that still the case, or do you see now a movement towards AI within your region?
Yeah, won't really say because right now most of the startups I've come across, because like I said, I'm also involved in the startup ecosystem. So most of the startups I've come across are actually now using a lot of AI tools, specifically around health, agriculture, and other and education. Yeah, so I feel like there's this realization to them that I was telling someone the other day that Y Combinator is actually now looking for startups that are really all about AI agents and everything
Yeah.
because the industry and the whole space is being oversaturated and many startups are just driving towards that direction. So yeah, I would say in Nigeria, most startups are actually building around AI. A lot actually are building around AI.
Well, I guess that's to be expected. There's a lot of growth, a lot of interest, excitement in the area. What's interesting is that when you, I don't know what your experience is, but the separate kind of get away from like the purely information worker space. So when we think like a lot of Copilot usage, for example, we're in there doing productivity things within the modern workplace, the Microsoft 365 space, but that's not where a lot of the innovation is happening around AI. It's out, like you said, it's solving real world problems. Some of the agricultural issues to better do the data analysis, the data science side of things. So, I mean, do you see kind of main areas where AI is being applied? Is it like industries, uh, different areas where you see more investment being made than others?
Well, like I said, one of the major industry or domain I would say is health because it sort of created a narrowness in terms of underserved region, because I came across an AI tool that basically allow people from remote areas just easily do their lab tests, their diagnosis, and everything from the comfort of their home. And all these are being trained with large amounts of data powered by artificial intelligence. So the fact that it actually worked and many people are actually using it in the healthcare space is really amazing. And I'll say there are more startups in the same domain, specifically around health and the three domains I mentioned: health, agriculture, and education. A lot are
Mhm.
being done with AI in those spaces.
Sure. I just had a thought too. You know, there was that what was that woman that came out of Stanford University um, uh, that wanted to create the device to do the blood tests with the fraction, and it was all
Yeah,
like a scam.
I
Yeah,
heard about that too.
yeah. It's I just keep thinking of like the spoofs of like the comedy stuff that came out of it, but Theranos, that's what it was. And just thinking that with AI, we might actually be closer to achieving what she had tried to do in an illegitimate, unethical, illegal way. But AI might actually be able to achieve that, to go in and do more rapid tests, more comprehensive, and just the greater number of tests on a smaller sample set. We might actually be able to reach that vision. Anyway.
Yeah, that's true. And I would say one of the major fears that most people have around AI is the job replacement thing that keeps going on. But I think majorly it's been said everywhere that AI is just a tool that just allows you to accelerate further than your pace. And um I was having a discussion with someone a few days ago concerning the Microsoft layoffs that happened, I think over a month. I can't really recall the exact date. And majorly what he was emphasizing on was the fact that those layoffs would not have been possible with if AI wasn't present. So it's just like people still say, okay, AI are replacing jobs and everything. I actually don't know in depth as to why the layoffs happen, but the main focus is just that AI will definitely reach the stage where we won't really be able to comprehend how far, how deep it would go in terms of actually solving some problems that we can't even imagine for. So yeah, it's going to reach extent like that.
Well, it's always I mean, we had similar discussions with moving to the cloud, and people were
Yeah,
worried like your jobs going away. And look, there were some jobs that were lost, but I think of it more of, there are positions that are going to go away just because they exist because of the inefficiencies of the old way of doing things. Like,
yeah,
have to do things manually because we can't automate. So with automation, you don't need people doing those, in a less efficient way, doing those jobs. But what it then does is now you need to have people that specialize in creating in maintaining the automations and supporting those. You need to have, just like the move towards the cloud, you need to understand that you need to have people that understand the services side and the communication between the different applications. I just think that yes, there are jobs that are going to be lost, and I think a lot of what we're seeing now is more just tightening the belt because of the cost of a lot of the infrastructure around
yeah,
AI, and so it's more optimizing. And I realize I'm saying this. Let me back up this next statement. I said that they're making themselves more efficient because the spending is greater on AI. What doesn't compute is the fact that a lot of these companies, and we'll beat up on Microsoft a little bit here as an example, that executives are making more than they've ever made. The company's more profitable than it's ever been, and yet they're doing layoffs.
yeah. I also resonate with that.
Yeah.
But I think right now there are startups that are actually fully run by AI, so it's not something we should be surprised about. And definitely more layoffs will keep happening as AI keeps evolving. So it's just left for us to be prepared for what comes next.
Well, that's always true, and it's yeah. I mean, the other thing to remember is that you need to manage your less focused on your job, meaning your what you're currently doing, your current company, and more focused on your career. What am I
Yeah,
learning? Am I staying relevant? Am I learning the latest? Am I able to apply those things to my job? That's more critical than whatever it is you're doing today.
yeah,
But I know it's a tough conversation to have when somebody is fighting to keep their job or has just lost their job. Like I get it. Yeah, I think we've all been there. We'll all likely be there again. And so there's no security in that, but you have more security if you keep developing the skills, if you keep learning and applying what you're learning.
yeah.
Certainly within those of us that work in tech, that's true. But
Yeah, that's true.
well, so tell me about your journey to becoming. So I know you were a student ambassador and become an MVP. Is it because you kind of already knew about the MVP program because of student ambassadors?
Yeah, it was actually through the Microsoft Learn Student Ambassadorship Program I got to know about the Microsoft MVP. I think then I was still a beta ambassador. Then from there, I was already doing some things in the community, and I just felt there was relevance in them. So those things I were doing, and I managed to get nominated. So I think it should be a 3 year journey now.
Hmm.
So it's just because before the Learn program and everything, I was just always about community and just trying to inspire people that really want to delve into tech, especially in the AI space. Because my story of actually starting with AI is not as easy as anyone would think, but I felt like some people actually needed that mentorship. So I was just available, and along the way, I was actually still contributing.
Hmm.
So based on that and some feedback I got from some of the program managers at the Learn Ambassadors, I just had to apply for the Microsoft MVP.
Yeah, no, well, it's well again. I know you've been an MVP for a little while here, so congratulations again. But it's I'm sure as all newer MVPs get, you've probably been hit with a lot of questions about like what did you do, like what do you have to do, like
Yeah.
what's your guidance, what's your recommendation for people that are like, hey, I love participating in the community, giving back to the community, but how do I become an MVP? What recommendations do you give people?
Yeah, I think I just came like 30 minutes ago. I came across a post on LinkedIn. I think it was Betsy that
Yeah.
posted about why I think something around MVP and what you actually need to become an MVP. So the post actually resonated a lot with me because many people that come to me for nomination are often about what are the things I need to do. They're sort of like creating a checklist that they have to meet instead of what actually makes them unique in the way they contribute to their community, which still ends up at, I would say, it's just left for you finding what you're passionate about
Yeah.
and the best way for you to actually put it out there for your community members to benefit from it. So it's not really, I don't think there's a strategy to actually becoming an MVP. It's just left for you because recently someone I think someone that got nominated reached out to me. I was like, I didn't get accepted. I told him I actually don't know the strategies. I don't know what the MVP program team look out for. I don't know. It's left for you, and you just being sure that yeah, you actually contributed to the community and inspiring others to actually pursue whatever field in tech that it is. So I'd say it's just being passionate and being unique in terms of how you are contributing.
Yeah. What are your primary contribution types? Like what are you like I'm primarily I'm a writer, so I enjoy
Okay.
blogging, writing articles, like yes, I do other things, speak at conferences, that kind of stuff, but writing is like my number one passion. In fact, people say like, well, what's your hobby? I'm like, blogging. It's my hobby. I've been doing it
Yeah,
for
I also love
time.
writing. I love writing a lot, and yeah, my primary contribution type is actually writing. Even outside blogs and everything, on LinkedIn alone, I write a lot. I think I post literally almost every day on different technology topics. Just trying to inspire others to actually pursue that of journey tech.
Well, we should talk about that. So, there's so I've got a good friend, a fellow MVP down in South Africa, who is, so Tracy Vanderskip. I don't know if you know Tracy by chance, who's just an
Mm.
awesome human being, but she did a challenge, like a self challenge where a few years back where she did daily blog posts and she got to 2 years of every single
Wow.
day and completed that. Well, I'm kind of a competitive person. So I am coming up on, I'm almost to end of August. It'll be 4 years of daily blog posts. I was going to stop, but then Tracy said she was going to start it up again. And so I can't stop because I have to stay in the lead
Yeah.
from that. But, it's always welcome. Anybody wants to take on that challenge and go through it. I'll tell you something that happens though when you have that kind of challenge yourself to that kind of activity, and whether it's creating video content or answering questions in on a community site, in a forum, anything like this, or blogging in my case, is that it forces you to think about, okay, what information's out there, what questions do I want to answer. You get really creative and structured in how you're writing, and it just makes it easier to, on the fly, a client comes to us like, hey, I need something. I'm like, sure. I'm able to go. It just kind of keeps me, warm.
Yeah.
I'm able to just to start it very quickly and go and do other project things. But it is a lot of work. I get that. So you have to enjoy it to do it. But
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
well, very cool. Well, so what right now, what are the primary topics that you are focusing on, writing about, speaking on?
So initially, I started off with Excel because foundationally, if you are working in the machine learning and AI space, you would realize you build a lot of models and you actually need data. So I got to learn a lot about Excel in terms of actually manipulating those data, cleaning and everything. Then
Mm-hmm.
along the, I think after I became an MVP, I started diving deep into actually building real AI systems, complex AI systems. And now my primary contributions is around AI topics, Azure AI Foundry, Azure AI services, and just different domains around the AI space.
Mm-hmm. Look, I think it's all the joke now is that, well, all of us that are the Microsoft MVPs, we're all AI MVPs. Plus, we do a
Yeah,
little of whatever. For me, I'm like, originally I was a SharePoint MVP, but like SharePoint, Teams, Copilot, those are the three things that I really focus on. So,
okay.
but you can't help but to get involved with AI stuff now. I'll tell you though, having just completed this training for the last 6 weeks, this onboarding, the most questions were around Copilot and Excel.
Wow.
Lots of questions that people want, granular data. If anybody out there is interested in going and building content, short videos, for example, around how you do kind of foundational things within Copilot and Excel. I mean, there's a real desire for that kind of content.
Yeah, that's true.
So, well, listen, I really appreciate your time and getting to talk again. I'm pretty sure we met at the end of MVP Summit, but anyway, I'm going to I'm going to check the camera rolls. I'm going to go through the digital picture, so I might find one of us, smiling at a picture at the same time or something. But anyway, it's really it was great to chat with you, catch up, and hope to see you at next year's MVP Summit.
All
So
right.
hopefully I don't know if you have plans of getting back out there. I know it's a long way to travel to come over for that
It's
event.
very long. I think the jet lag actually hits me hard for the this last summit, and yeah, I wasn't really myself, and I actually missed out on I think I would say a lot of activities, because I was always going back to my hotel to rest and just to take a nap.
You can
So
sleep later. You got to take advantage of the opportunity. I do the same thing too. So it's there's sometimes there's only so much the brain can take. At the end of the day, you're like, my brain is full. I need to go sleep.
yeah.
It's understood. But yeah, well, hopefully we'll catch it the next one. And well, I really appreciate the time. And of course, we'll have all of your contact information out on the blog post and out on YouTube, so that people want to reach out and connect with you. I'll
Oh,
make sure I provide all the links and things that are out there. So really appreciate your time.
all right. Thank you.